Today we're going to talk about the measures of central tendency and dispersion. A single number that represents all of the data is a measure of central tendency. The next three are examples of measures of central tendency. The sum of all the data values divided by the number of data values is the mean, or the average. Okay, that's a measure of central tendency. The middle number, or average of two middle numbers of a data set arranged in numerical order, is your median. The value or values that occur most frequently in a data set is your mode. If more than one mode exists, then the set of data is referred to as this, bimodal. So more than one mode can happen, and it's just called bimodal instead. The difference between the highest and lowest value of a data set is the range. Couple examples. These are not easy examples. The table displays the frequency of scores on a 20-point quiz. The mean is 18. Find the value of k in the table. Well, how do you find an average? You add up all the numbers and divide by the number of values that you have. So this says a score 15, 2 people got it. A score is 16, 4 people got it. A score is 17, 7 people got it, on and on and on. We have to figure out k. So let's just start by setting up the average formula. We could do 15 plus 15, or 15 times 2, plus 16 times 4, plus 17 times 7, plus 18 times 13, plus 19 times k, plus 20 times 5, divided by the frequency. The total number, 2 plus 4 plus 7 plus 13 plus k plus 5. And it tells us it has to equal 18. Well, when I add the top, add up all the numbers, you end up getting 47 plus 19k, and the denominator 31 plus k. Again, it has to equal 18. Since it's a fraction here, let's cross multiply. So I'll get 547 plus 19k equals, and then the other side, 18 times 31 is 558 plus 18k. Let's get our k's on one side and numbers on the other. So I'm going to subtract the 547. I'm also going to subtract the 18k. I'll end up getting k equals 558 minus 547 is 11. So k equals 11. So again, not the ones you were doing when you were in algebra class in 9th grade. These ones are a little more difficult. The next one, a table displays the frequency of scores on a 10-point quiz. Find the median. Well, we know the median is the middle number. And you can't just tell me, oh, it's either 7 or 8, because 7 or 8 is the middle score. You have to remember, you have 14 numbers that are 8, 12 numbers that are 9, 5 numbers that are 6. You could list them all out and then find the middle number. Let me show you a little easier way. We'll add the frequencies. 1 plus 5 plus 8 plus 14 plus 12 plus 7, and divide, well, get that answer, it's 47. That means there's 47 numbers in there. I'm going to divide by 2. That gives me an answer of 23.5. That means, when you have a decimal there, that means there are 23 numbers on the left of the median and 23 numbers on the right of the median. So there'd be like 23 numbers, and then you'd have your median, and then there'd be 23 numbers on the other side. That's what that's saying. So I got to find what that number is in the middle there. The way I do it is I add up the frequency numbers. 1 plus 5 plus 8 gives me 14. So 1 plus 5 plus 8 does not give me 23 yet. However, when I add the 14 in, I get up to 28. So now I'm over the 23. Since I've broken the 23 point with my frequency of the 14, the median score is 8 because the 7 hadn't gotten there yet. Number 3, the table displays the number of uncles on each student in the class of Algebra 2. Find the mean, median, and mode. Okay? Well, I think mode is easiest. Mode is the number that occurs most often, so we look at our frequency. The highest frequency is 10, so the mode is 4. Unfortunately, all 3 choices show the 4. Let's find our mean next. To find our mean, the same as we did in number 1, you're going to take the score times 2 plus 1 times 5 plus 2 times 4 plus 3 times 6 plus 4 times 10 plus 5 times 8. And you divide by the frequency numbers, 2 plus 5 plus 4 plus 6 plus 10 plus 8. Type it all on your calculator and you end up getting 3.17. So based on that, we can cross off choice 4. To find the median, we're going to do the same thing we did in number 2. We are going to add up our frequencies. 2 plus 5 plus 4 plus 6 plus 10 plus 8 is 35. Divided by 2 is 17.5. That means there should be 17 numbers to the left and 17 numbers to the right of the median. So I start adding my frequencies. I add the 2, the 5, and the 4 gives me 11. So I'm going to add the 6, and that gives me 17. So after I add all 6 3s, I'm up to 17 numbers. The next number will be my median. Well, the next number is 4. So my median is 4. Choice 1. Okay, we will practice more of those. What we're going to do today is determine quartiles in a box and whisker plot by hand. And for your do now, what you will do is you're going to watch a different video and just verify that our numbers are correct. So it says, when we separate the data into 4 equal parts, we have created quartiles. The minimum, first, median, third quartile, and the maximum are called your 5 statistical summary. So if it's asking for a 5 statistical summary, it is asking for those 5 things. Used to display the quartile values and the max and the min is a box and whisker plot. You have an example of one at the top of the paper. The difference between the first and the third quartile is called your interquartile range. A value that doesn't seem to fit, for interquartile range we abbreviate it as IQR. A value that does not fit the data is called an outlier. And these are the formulas for outliers. So let's find the following information, and then we will also create a box and whisker plot. So, the mean. The way we find the mean is we add up all the numbers and we divide by the total number that's there. I am going to save us a little bit of time. I found it to be 66. The median is the middle number when it's listed in order. The middle number will end up being 65.5. It's actually between 65 and 66. So it's 65.5. You add them up and divide by 2. The mode is the number that occurs most often, so you look at your data set and you see it's 68. The minimum is the smallest number, 60. The maximum is the highest number, 75. Okay, for our quartiles, this is what you do. You take your data, which we have them listed here. You split it in half, which you did when you found your median. And then you split the first half of your data in half again. So if I split the first half of my data in half, I would be right where that blue line is, between 63 and 63. That's called your first quartile, so it's 63. Your second quartile is the same as your median, so it's 65.5. Your third quartile splits the second half of the data in half, which is right here. And that is 68. Sorry, I know I'm going over a little bit here. To make your box and whisker plot now, you draw a number line. You include at least from 60 to 75. I'm going to go up by 2s. On your box and whisker plot, I usually do it above just so I can see it better. You're going to put a dot at your minimum, a dot at your first quartile, at your median 65.5, at your third quartile, and at your maximum, which are your 5 statistical summary. You're going to draw a box around Q1 and Q3, whiskers out to your max and your min, and a line down for your median. That's your box and whisker plot. Finally, for outliers, to find a lower outlier, I'm going to abbreviate LO. What you do is you take Q1 and subtract 1.5 the inner quartile range. So in this case, it'll be 63 minus 1.5 times, and we didn't find the interquartile range yet. The interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1, so 68 minus 63, which is 5. When you take 63 minus 1.5 times 5, you get 55.5. Look at your data set. Do you see any values below 55.5? The answer is no, so there's no lower outlier. To find the upper outlier, it's the same idea. It's Q3 plus 1.5 the inner quartile range. Our Q3 was 68 plus 1.5 times 5, which is 75.5. Is there a data value above 75.5? The answer is no, so there are no outliers. At this point, please watch that short video and just make sure that our information above is correct using your calculator for practice.